integers. Again, Coach Wilson coming at you. Alright, so adding integers. First, if you haven't already, if you haven't sung it in class yet, you need to make sure and go to the internet, go to my YouTube site, and watch the integer song, the Row Row Your Boat. Okay? So do that first. So if you haven't done that, stop this one, go to my link, go to the YouTube page, and watch the adding integer song, Row Row Your Boat. That's the easy way that we're going to remember the two rules for adding integers. Okay? Now, if you've already watched it, you know the song. Okay? Same signs, add and keep, different signs, subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, then it'll be exact. Okay? So, it's awesome. Now, let's make sure we understand what each one of those means. So, same signs, add and keep. Okay? So, what that means is, if the signs of the numbers are the same, so, for instance, you've got a 3 and a 5. Just like you learned in kindergarten, those are positive numbers. So, a 3 plus a 5 is an 8, just like it's always been. Okay? Now, if you have two negative symbols, those are the same. So that's same signs. So same signs, you still add them and it's 8, but you keep. Okay? That's the keep part right here. Add and keep. So here you keep the positive, positive 8. You don't have to write the positive sign. And here you keep the negatives. So you keep the negative sign. So it's negative 8. Okay? That's it. It's that easy. Alright, just one more example, just in case. Okay, so for instance, 11 plus 2. Okay, 11 plus 2 is 13. It's always been 13. Okay, these are positive, so the answer is positive. Now, if it's negative, so if you've got negative 11 plus negative 2, so same signs, okay, then you add and keep, so it's negative 13. Okay, easy enough. Alright, now the more difficult one, or the one that kids have more trouble with, is the different sign, subtract, keep the sign of the higher number. Okay, and the higher number, we mean the higher absolute value. So the one that is further from 0. Not the one that's biggest, the one that's further away from the 0 in the number line. Okay, so for the first example, okay, we've got 3 plus a negative 7. Those are different signs. This is positive, this is negative. Okay, so you're going to subtract. Different signs, you subtract. So 7 take away 3. So 7 take away 3. That's 4. But you're going to keep the sign of the higher number, so the one that's further from 0. So 3 is not as far as the negative 7 is. Okay, so 7 is the higher number, so you're going to keep that sign. So that's negative. So the answer is negative. Okay, here's an example. It's the same exact numbers, the same digits, but this time the 3 is negative and the 7 is positive. So still different signs, so we still subtract. So 7 take away 3 is still 4, that's the difference. But this time the 3 is negative. Okay, the 7 is still higher than the negative 3. So he is now positive, so our answer is positive. Okay, so subtraction, if the signs are different, keep the sign of the higher number. So here it was negative, here it's still a 7, but it's positive. Okay, so 12 and a negative 5, those are different signs. That's negative, that's positive. So if they're different, you subtract. So 12 take away 5 is 7. 12 is bigger, or the bigger absolute value between the two. So you're going to keep the sign of the positive, because 12 is the positive. So that's positive 7. Okay? Here, same digits, but this time the 12 is negative. So it's still subtraction, because different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number. So that's higher. Here it was higher. So the negative goes with the 7 this time. Okay? Alright, one more example. This one's kind of a tricky one. Kids always miss this one. So 8 plus 8, which is 16 normally, but that's a positive and that's a negative. So that's different signs. So these are opposites. Okay? So adding opposites always gives you 0. Okay? Now, you cannot ever do this. That is a no-no. You cannot ever do this. That is a no-no. 0 is neutral. Don't forget. It's not positive, it's not negative. Okay? Doesn't matter which one is negative. Okay? So if this is negative and this is positive, that's still a different sign, subtract. So it's 0. No positive, no negative. Okay? So, learn the song, memorize it, and you will have no problem with adding and subtracting all of your integers.